All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to pre New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today. We're just going to dive in. So, as always, let's turn off all distractions, prepare your minds, your bodies to engage as you guys always do. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call, please ensure that your mic is muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. Uh, so let's get to it. We'll take a look at some fundamentals, and then I want to start off by taking a look at any pairs that you guys have your eyes on heading into this news cycle for today. So that's where we'll start. So let me switch over here. Not there. There we go. All right. And real quick, drop me a one in the chat if you can hear me okay and if you can see my screen. Appreciate it, Mally. All right. So, Japan logs largest trade gap on record. All right. Japan's trade deficit widened to a record high for the yen of 3,496,000,000 in January 2023 from 2,199,000,000 in the same month a year earlier. This was the 18th straight month of trade shortfalls as imports climbed 17.8% due to higher energy bills, while exports grew by only 3.5% as demand for cars and chips weakened and shipments to China and Hong Kong declined due to the Lunar Year holiday. So Japan is still going through this back and forth battle as they work out of some of the shipping issues and things like that. So still trying to figure things out in Japan. Oil remains under pressure. Brent crude futures fell below the $85 per barrel mark on Thursday as concerns about sluggish near-term demand decline in the U.S. All right, so oil is still under pressure. Yesterday, Australian job rate came out highest in 8 months, ahead of the expectation. But the market was pretty mute, so we want to see how the New York session opens and how they take that data. And that's pretty much it, right? Not a ton happened overnight, but coming into today, later on today, this morning, we have core PPI data coming out for the United States, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, unemployment claims, right? We could likely start to see this unemployment claim number slide up as companies started their layoffs. It'll be interesting to see. From what I've read, some of these companies gave extended packages, so it could not look like unemployment just yet, as some of those extended packages means they technically keep them as employees, but they're not actually working. They're just getting paid and they're on the payroll for a few months, and then any severance packages would kick in after that. So something just to be aware of as we're looking at these unemployment claims and jobs numbers as they come out in future months. That could definitely be an impact on these numbers. So, and then tonight we got Governor Lowe coming to the microphone, or this evening Eastern time. Governor Lowe out of Australia coming to the microphone. Could say some interesting things, especially seeing as the unemployment rate and employment change came out last night. So that'll be that. And then on Friday, we got retail sales coming out of the UK. So that's it from a fundamental perspective. Are there any questions? Any questions there? No?
I got that shit. I think with that shit last night. Hey, oh my god, bitch.
If we could just ensure that our mics stay muted. If you don't have a question or comment, appreciate it. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning, Ryan?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Thursday, the day before Friday. I'm all good.
That's it, man. That's it. One more day. One more day. Anything you came across fundamentally this morning or later yesterday evening?
No, sir. Pretty smooth and steady. Just waiting on the PPI report to come through this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cool deal. All right. Appreciate you, bro. Got it. All right. Cool deal. So, if you guys have any pairs.
Oh, Ryan. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
What's up?
I will say, right, that Lagarde speaking, just the ECB just continues to be fairly hawkish. Three more potential 50 basis point hikes. So the expectation in March is for 50 basis points out of the ECB.
I missed that yesterday.
Yep. So I just reading up on some stuff late last night that that seems to still be the consensus, being hawkish. 3% eventually, right? What is it? I have to look at the rate, but
three more hikes at 50% each.
Yeah, at 50 basis points. Yep. So
150.
Yeah, so saying. Yep. So they're saying that's definitely still a possibility for the ECB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely something to keep in mind as we're looking at those euros. Cool deal. Appreciate that catch, man. I definitely missed that one yesterday.
Yep.
All right. Cool deal. If you guys have any pairs that you got your eyes on, take a second and drop those into the chat for me, and we'll start with those as we kick off the morning. And while we do that, I'll hop over, take a look at the dollar. And right, getting a little bit of a pullback after the breakout of that range, right? Yesterday we pushed up to the upside of that range and waiting on. Now we're getting a pullback, starting to stall out a little bit as we retest some of the previous highs that we broke out of, right? So today we could see another push to the upside, right? Depending on how that PPI data comes out, depending on the impact of that information. Okay. So we'll watch that there. So your dollar pairs obviously have similar action, right? Still sit in some ranges in some scenarios. So that is the dollar index. Not a ton happening. Looking to see if we get this next push to the upside here. Okay. So that's that. Joyce said Bitcoin. No doubt. I'm going to come back and take a look at this one. Some of these stocks that we talked about in the past. Bitcoin. We got another push to the upside here. Coming back and retesting this daily level. All right. Daily resistance here. This has been that long drawn out move that we've been watching for quite some time. And I haven't changed my chart. I wanted to keep it just like that as we continue to monitor the movement there. So that's Bitcoin there, coming back to retest these daily level at 25,196, right? Nice push to the upside off the low. Coming in this level, we'll see what happens here. We got another level of support here. This was a previous level of support that was broken right there. So we could come back to 26,000 there. right? And just retest that level that we broke through. So still potentially some upside movement, basically coming in and bouncing around in this range a bit, right? Looking at that range for price to come through and retest. And then we'll look to see what happens from there, right? That's from a daily perspective again. So off of this crown pattern that we identified a long time ago, still got some downward. Whoops, it's already on there. My bad. Still got some downward movement potentially, right? As we retest these levels, we'll see if we get price to turn over and ultimately at some point push down to this 9,900 range, right? So we're going to keep that there. And we'll see if we're able to break this 16,000 and get down to that 9,000 range. Come down to the 4. And I'll pull some of the stuff out so we can see this a little bit more cleanly here. Maybe there we go. All right, so on our 4, let's see, we're going to run a fib off the high here just to see where things track. Oh, yeah. Look at that, right? So off the high, that zone that we said we're going to watch, right? This was a previous daily support. This is that daily resistance, right in line with our 618 retracement levels, right? So look for price to push up into the zone, and then we'll see what happens. If we break above, then we could see some more upward pressure, right? But this is a zone I'm going to watch closely to see how price responds here, okay? So we know we got that zone there, 618 retracement. I'm going to run a sub fib to the upside here just to track the move to the upside. Let's see. What am I missing here? Okay. This one here. All right. There we go. Makes sense. Right. So even on our sub fibs, the confluence that we have, we got a 618 retracement. Matching the extension is here at that 25,196. Right. So that kind of gives us more confirmation of this upward move, at least to that level, but could push higher. Right. Could push higher. And this is just going to be hypothetical. Right. If that swing high formed there and gave us that AB boundary, 118 127 zone is right in line with that second resistance level, previous support. So hypothetical, we'll see if it forms like that, but that's what we're looking at, right? Price pushing up into the zone and then giving us some moves back down to the downside potentially. Okay. So that's the 4. Come down to the 1. And we'll run these again from the low. Right here. All right, so that one got taken out to the downside, then price pushed up. So we'll come to this low, and you got a fresh AB boundary there. All right, so this is our fib on the 1. Right here, okay? 118, 127 zone, right in line with that 25, 196. Your D extension is giving us indication of the high push to the upside, right? So that's where we sit. Fresh AB boundary. We'll see if we get a retracement first, but we potentially could not, right? And we could see price rise into this zone. Okay, could see price rise into that zone. So looking for more bullish action in the short term, right? Coming into that 618 level on the 4, right? And hitting some D extensions, retesting some of these levels that we broke through, and then we'll see if we get price to turn over and push down, right? So we could see price push up to 26,541 before we see any potential reactions there. So That's what I'm looking for here, right? Price to come up into this zone and then start making its way back down. That's Bitcoin. That is Bitcoin. Questions here?
No, thank you.
What are you seeing on it, Joy? Something similar?
Well, the thing is, I see something similar, but I was just confused whether or not where to look for the sale at, because I don't know why I ain't deleted. I got an old buy stop order at 20-something thousand. I ain't at the computer right now. So I was debating whether or not to let that ride out until it exhausts and then take it back down.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. In this upper level, like I said, we got a previous level of support here on the daily. Right here. Right here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at right there.
Yeah. So we could definitely come back and retest that zone before we get some action back to the downside.
Yeah, because I had a buy limit down at the bottom of the cloud on the 15th, but it just continued to rally, and I was like, oh, okay, bet.
Yeah, I dig it, and we could, right? So this is a sub fib here on the daily time frame, and we're in the 80-20 zone, right? Shallow retracement there. And so even if price pushes up here, it still may not get to that D extension off the sub fib on the daily, right? So it's a little bit more confirmation, 80-20 scenario, potential price pushing back down to the downside, right? Confirming that support could hold as resistance there if we come back and retest it. I follow you. Yeah. Yeah, we got some more upward pressure coming before we see any reversals there. Cool deal. Hold on one second, everybody. All right, my bad, everybody. Yeah, that's Bitcoin. Any other questions there? No?
No, sir.
You guys got any other pairs that you got your eyes on coming into the day that you want me to take a look at? No? All right, cool deal.
I am looking at on the 15 a pound swissy move off that software that off the software we've been working on. It's good. It's pulls a little bit different. So if you clear your fib off, you're on the 15. Okay. Yeah. So the way it's taking a fib, right? So it's just right off from the high. See that high?
Yeah.
And then pull it straight down. I'll tell you exactly where. No, on your use your manual, because that's that the software is.
Gotcha.
It's drawing it up. Yep. And pull it down. Right. Go down one more. Right there. All right.
Okay.
So there's your target at that 382.
Gotcha. You got your breaking close here, bullish.
Yep. You got your target at 382 and your 61.8 for your TP2.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Here's the setup here.
Yeah. So we'll just continue to test that software, man, and see how it plays out.
Okay. I like that. So we two options for you, right? You can either place your stop below the cloud, right? 15 pips there. Below the low, 27, right? Or if you extend it out to the D extension, that's 60 pips to the downside there. 45. So I'd probably do a 2-to-1 scenario here and place it below the most recent low here in that support level. Bam. Yeah. I like that. Appreciate that, bro. There's an opportunity for us right there, good people.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out.
Let's go ahead. So we're going to take this one. Entry here. Whoops. Our entry there. Stop loss below the low. Okay. 23 pips. Beautiful. All right. Let's go. Stop loss 1.10982. Cool deal. We'll see how that one progresses. Appreciate that. There's an opportunity for us right there, good people. All right. I want to take that position. That's what we're looking at there to the upside. TP1 and TP2 here. Penny, did you look at how that looks with the smart fib? I'm just curious.
I did not. You could drop it on there, the algorithm, because the smart fib technology is the smart. They've got the patents on that, but you know the software we're trying to build out. What is it? Just a smaller one there, like they made it 2. Yeah.
80-20 scenario there. TP1 is that will be TP2 on that fib.
Okay.
Dig it.
So yeah, it's getting there. It'll never be spot on it, but it's calling the reversal in the same zone. And that's mainly what I'm focused on.
Yep.
They can handle it from there. So, you know, it's the research and everything is coming through pretty good. So same zone, a little different alignment. I can live with that.
Yeah.
Because it's never gonna get it exactly like the smart trader because that's their bread and butter. But you know, this could be ours. But it's good to be able to have a system where it's finding setups for you.
Yeah.
That way we can get them out to the group even more efficiently. So yeah, still a work in progress, but that's how the algorithm is figuring out the fib, which is because it's almost, I don't know if it's like pulling a higher time frame fib down or not, but it's catching it's not catching the, you know, the smaller waves, which is okay, which is okay. Same zone. So we'll see how that one plays out. Man, that's right up against support too, right? Where that 127 is.
Yep.
So that's a good potential play. So if you catch it right out there 127, you can even leave that stop wide. I think right now even it's what is it, like a 1-to-1? If you put that stop at the D.
A little less. So
if you leave it
at the D, you got 50, 55, and you have 45.
I'm 45, so a little less than a 1-to-1. So yeah. So it's already taking off a bit.
Yeah.
So okay.
Like you said, if you catch that at 127, now you're looking at 60. Now you're looking at a little bit more than a 1-to-1.
Right.
Direction. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Appreciate you.
Cool. No, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. That's a good look. All right. Cool deal. So we'll monitor that, and we'll see how that goes. Right? We'll see how that plays out. And that's the setup coming off of some of the research that we're doing, tools that we're trying to develop for the group. So awesome. I want to take a look back at this Swiss yen, and then I want to take a look at some stocks. So Swiss yen still pushing up into that zone, got some indecision happening right now. Broke above this previous daily level of resistance, came back and retested it yesterday, and now we're indecisive, right? I think it was Mally pointed out yesterday, we got a D extension on the daily coming in just above here, 145, 546. Pointed that out last night during the Asian session. So we got that D extension there. All right, we'll bring this down, track it there, and that comes right in line with, right, this 118, 127 zone, right? So potentially another push to the upside, get into that daily D extension. We know those levels are key for us to pay attention to. And then we'll see if we get this thing to turn over and press down, right? You see it just pressing straight sideways right now. And as we come down to the 1, right, we're hovering, getting closer to the cloud also as price pushes to the side here, right? We'll take that out and we'll just watch it as it moves, right? Getting closer to the clouds, we press sideways, right? Pushing up into that zone. So still being patient, still trying to wait for price to get up there, okay? So we'll continue to monitor that one there as it moves. You see just hovering sideways with the cloud there. All right. So that's the Swiss yen. It'd be interesting to see if it starts making its move before the end of the week, or if it kind of stalls like that and gets us to the weekend. So we'll continue to monitor there. I want to take a look at some stocks. We talk about the methodology that we teach and that it can be used in multiple asset class or any asset class, not multiple, but any asset class. A few months back or a month back, maybe, randomly we looked at this stock here, Mullen, during I think it was during an Asian session. And, we said, hey, take a look at it, see what happens. I told you guys, my brother randomly throws stocks at me periodically, say, hey, Ryan, look at this for me. He gets some fundamental tips, people saying, look at this, in the automotive space, in the plants, they talk about all kind of stuff, right? So he said, hey, take a look at the stock for me. Hold on one second, everybody. My bad, guys. So this is Mullen. Mullen is a EV vehicle company, electric vehicle company, and they've had some changes fundamentally. Brought in some key leaders from some of your larger automotive companies, Ford and General Motors, and they're trying to make their way into the space, right? Trying to build their brand. So from a daily time frame perspective, right, price has been on the down slope since 2021, right? Just pushing down. But some of the things to also keep in mind is the government is putting a lot of money into this electrification space, right? So the government is looking to shift. So you have these companies now starting to kind of gain a little bit of steam and start making some strategic moves to try to build their brands in this space, as the government is giving away a lot of free money, and also pushing companies to be more cognizant of the environment and change how we drive vehicles, all pushing towards electrification. And then at some point, 7-10 years down the line, we'll have flying cars, stuff like that, right? So here on the daily time frame with Mullen, right, from a technical perspective, we'll drop, let's come back, take all that out, right? We'll drop support and resistance in, okay? And that's just giving us those levels down there. I'll drop this daily level in here also, just to keep that in mind longer term. Right there, right? And we'll zoom in, we'll come into the lower levels, and we'll drop these in as well, like so. There. 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 And let me lock this. At those levels as well, right? And we're just going to stick to the daily time frame. On stocks, I look at them from two perspectives. I look at them from a long-term perspective, and if I'm just looking at some day trade opportunities, or I've had people reach out to me wanting to look at trading options and things like that. And I've actually done some, before we got started with the Inner Circle, did some training with some options traders, right? And they go down to the 15, the 5, and the 1, trade options. So on these, generally, I'm looking from the date, especially when they're penny stocks like this, looking at from a daily time frame down to the 15 in most cases, right? So that's our support and resistance on the daily time frame. We ran the fib, and from a fib perspective, we're in an 80-20 zone, right? We got 80-20 scenario happening here, right? And price is just kind of stalled out at these lower levels, right? So we got 80-20 on the daily time frame, and we drop down to the 4, and we zoom back out here on the 4. Look at it from a fib perspective first, and then we'll drop support and resistance in just to take note of where things are, because we'll have to zoom in quite a bit. All right, so we'll come back here, drop our fib on, bang. On the 4, we also got an 80-20 scenario. Shallow retracement, 118, 127, and now we just basically stalled out at these lower price ranges, right? So we come down to the 1, and I'll drop some support and resistance in on the 1 hour time frame, but I want to look at it from a fib perspective first, so that we just have a full understanding of where price is. Okay. Come all the way back to the high, and we'll drop it in there. Right. So here on the 1, we did push up to get to this 382. Right. We did wick out there, and then we pushed down. So on the 1, we don't have an 80-20 scenario, but we're hovering in this range. Okay. So we'll zoom in here and look at support and resistance. Like so. And I don't know if we have any stock traders in the group, or any that check us out on YouTube, but here we are. Okay, we'll make this 1 hour purple, but I'm doing this just to demonstrate that the methodology works with any asset class, right? And if you are a stock trader, options trader, what have you, you can also really be able to manage your risk with the methodology that we teach, right? So on the 1 hour time frame, we saw from the top down, didn't have an 80-20, but we stalled out in that 118, 127 zone, right? And we had price hovering down here, right? Price just kind of stalled out and pushing sideways. So on our one, right, if we run a sub fib off the low, this is where we sit, and we zoom in and look at this fib. I'll pull the cloud off real quick. Just look at it from a fib perspective with support and resistance. You see it's been playing out each time. 618 retracement. The extension was hit there. Price just ran, right? This fib looks a little bit weird, but 8-6 retracement stayed inside that A boundary, right? Where's my tool at? Right? A, B, C. That was our D, right? And then it goes again. A, whoops. What happened there? There we go. A, that should be our B. This would then be our C, right? Still would be inside that AB boundary, right? Didn't take out the A. The extension is the 118 level. We got the swing high after. Boom. And then it starts all over again. You see here, 80-20 scenario, shallow retracement, price pushing to the 118, 127 zone, gave us a nice retracement here, right? So even if you wanted to trade these just from a day trading perspective, right? 80-20 scenario still playing out in stocks on a 1 hour time frame, 15-minute time frame, what have you. So now, right, we're in the C to D push zone here, right? Price is pushing up, getting a little stall out sideways, right? But matching the extension is here is at 49 cents, right? Whenever price chooses to get there. So that's what we have as prices moving to the upside. We looked at this back here early December, right? And we had a double bottom formation here, and price started to make its way to the upside. So these thin blue lines here are my two entries at 19 cents and at 26 cents, right? And price is making its way to the upside, right? So the methodology and the sequence plays out regardless of the time frame, regardless of the asset class, right? So now as we drop down to the 15, we can look at it even closer, right? And get the same details. Okay. Oops. All right. So same thing. And then looking at it from a cloud perspective, right? Looking at it from a cloud perspective and looking at entries and where to enter those positions, we add the cloud on. Okay. And we zoom into where I originally took an entry on this stock here, right? Price pushed up. We broke the cloud. We came back and retested the cloud. Bang, right? Got some consolidation, and then price took off to the upside. So even those cloud confirmations work on any asset class, right? So for those that trade stocks, all of these pieces, the entry techniques that we teach, right? The Fibonacci sequence and how we teach it, you can utilize it wherever you go, right? Wherever you go. So that's one. That's Mullen. Another one is AULT. There's another one. They're doing some things in the crypto space from a fundamental perspective. One of the reasons I don't trade stocks a lot, and Benny and I talk about this all the time, is there's so much that goes into them, and there's so many different ways for them to be manipulated from a higher perspective. And fundamentally, it's a lot. It's a lot. And there's so many companies to look at, so many companies to potentially trade, and so many options. Whereas in Forex, right, you got 28 pairs. And then if you look at your indices and things like that, it's still pretty limited regarding how many are there. It's not thousands. So it makes it a little bit easier from a management perspective. But here on AULT, so they're doing some things in the crypto space. They just made a key sell of some technology that is putting them in position to take ownership of the company that they sold the technology to. So, which makes it very interesting there. So we zoom out, we come all the way back to the top, right? Price has been pushing to the downside. And all these are penny stocks, super volatile. So as always, make sure that your risk management is intact, right? But from a higher time frame perspective on the daily, we're just stalling right here at these low price levels, right? 118 and 127 zone, shallow retracement, right? And as we continue to make our way down through the time frames, we got 80-20s playing out on these lower time frames as we go, right? And this is just looking at it without support and resistance, right? Just looking at it from a Fibonacci perspective. And we'll get there. All right. Bang. Just slid right down into that zone, just above 0 cents. I mean, yeah, just above 0 cents. And it's stalling here, and they're making key transactions from a fundamental perspective that we could see this start to make some moves to the upside. Okay. Come down to your 1. And here, right, we're going to run our fib off the low. But you see here again, from a cloud perspective, broke the cloud, price started moving up, we got a pullback, and now we're starting to push back up again. All right, so we run our fib off the low here. All right, 618 retracement, matching the extension is here at 17 cents. All right, so price is trying to make its way to the upside here. Okay, 80-20 scenarios on a higher time frame, and our lower time frame fibs are also in key positions, putting us in some good spots to make some moves to the upside. How far it goes, that's yet to be seen. For me, when I enter these and looking at these penny stocks in longer term positions, they're just that, they're longer term positions. So when I buy these, I buy them and I just let them sit. Right, I let them sit, and we'll look at them next year sometime and see where things are. That's how I look at these longer penny stocks, but in some of these key positions from a higher time frame perspective. So just wanted to display, right? Doesn't matter the time frame, doesn't matter the asset class, the methodology is the same regardless. Questions on these stocks or that thought process? I know it took us off course a little bit, but
nope. I appreciate you doing it.
Hey, no doubt. So periodically, if my brother throws something at me, I'll throw it at you guys, and we can take a look at them. So those are stock picks. Let's see. That is, let's take a look at the Euro Swiss real quick, and that's all I have. I'm waiting on some more of this data to come out to see if we get price to move in one direction or the other. Euro Swissy, right? Still just hovering sideways. We got this strong bullish push on Monday, right? And now we're pulling back to retest that candle. We'll see if we get, right? Benny was talking about last night. We want to see if we get another push down, potentially into the support zone and the 618 retracement level. We'll see if we get that push to the downside there. We come down to the 4, right? And price is trying to make its way down, right? But we also have a head and shoulder type pattern potentially trying to form here. I will look at it and see it closer on the 1. So we'll see if this plays out or if it fails and we push down into that 618 retracement zone, right? So still hovering in this range. crown pattern. That's what it was. And this is where I started that Benny right here. On our one, hovering in that B boundary zone, right? That 618 retracement off the higher time frame is your 118, 127 zone, right? On your one. That'll put us in that key 80-20 scenario that we like to see from a 1 hour time frame perspective. So we'll continue to monitor this to see how this plays out, right? And at what point does the market turn and give us that bullish push to the upside? Okay. Benny mentioned at the beginning, Christine Lagarde is hawkish. Hawkish. With saying at least 3 more rate hikes at 50 basis points each. So more rises coming for the euro. So we'll see how the market opens and see if there's any delayed reaction to that or if anything else transpires throughout the day. So that's the Euro Swissy, just being patient there. Questions on anything that we covered this morning? No? Benny, you got anything before we wrap it up, bro?
No, sir. You know what I mean, man? I'm always following the data. I'm waiting on that PPI.
Yeah, man.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Just being patient.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? So Benny talked about this last week, but we have these cycles, right? Where you have a lot of news coming out. And no doubt, you have a lot of news coming out, right? And your investors are looking at those data points, just like the Fed is and everybody else. So you'll see things kind of slow down a little bit, right? And you don't have to trade every day. You don't have to put in a trade every day, right? So it's about being patient and allowing the market to come into your trading sweet spots, right? So being patient and allowing the market to do what it's going to do. And so that's what we do, right? And our goal is to show this from a realistic perspective. We're not selling you this Lambo lifestyle. We're not selling you 97 trades a day and all of this. That's not it, right? When you're looking at it from a consistently profitable perspective and from a professional perspective, you got to have these restraints in place, right? So that comes with working on that space in between your two ears to really, really understand that, all right, I can be patient here. I can wait here because the longer term vision is greater than just trying to find something to get into, right? As opposed to allowing the market to come to me, right? No decision, no trade is a decision, right? Patience is action. So, as my partner always says. So, with that said, you guys have a phenomenal Thursday. We'll be back at it tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session. We'll see how the news impacts the market, see if we have anything pushing into our zones. All right. Have an awesome day, everybody. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good day.